Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. It's the podcast where we have digital discussions through the worlds of sports, pop culture, social media, everything really. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis, and on Twitter I go as PD Beats. Really excited because my guest has recently become the newest member of the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA. We are speaking to Isaiah Roby. Isaiah, welcome to Popternative.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I like the sound of that too. Newest member of the Mavericks. That's got a nice ring to it.
I mean, newest member of the Mavericks. I mean, the hard work has paid off, right, man?
Absolutely, but it's I'm starting back at the bottom now as a rookie, so I'm ready to put even more work in.
So how does that mindset change? You go from being a senior, University of Nebraska, kind of being the focal point there, and now that's shifting gears to kind of starting all over again. Have you thought about that whole process?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, in my time in Nebraska, it's it set me up to succeed at the next level because, I fought through a lot of adversity and, coming into the league, especially as a rookie, not a lottery rookie or anything, I'm gonna have to fight through adversity to get where I want to be. So I think, just being able to fight through that is big.
And the first player from the University of Nebraska to be drafted in the NBA in the last 20 years, Isaiah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's very crazy. It's I actually didn't even know that when I committed to Nebraska, but Nebraska's not known for basketball. Nebraska is a football school, and the fact that it's actually kind of weird that this year is the first year I think in like 20 years that they didn't, or no, maybe even longer than that they didn't have somebody drafted for football. And then I got drafted for basketball. So, hopefully we can start that chain in basketball too.
And it's funny, I was going to mention this later on, but you did mention the football. You played football in high school. You were a quarterback in high school. So my question is, how important was it for you to play multiple sports growing up, Isaiah?
Yeah, it was very important. I didn't even focus on basketball as my main sport until I was 15, 16. So, when I was growing up, especially I'm from Illinois, a small town Illinois, so around here, football is king. Everybody plays football. I was playing football from the time, I was 5 or 6 years old, up until my freshman year of high school. So, growing up, I wanted to be, a Big Ten, big time, college football quarterback. My freshman year was about 6'2", and then my sophomore year was about 6'7". So, basketball worked out a lot better for me. Put the football down, pick the basketball up, and never look back.
In terms of your style of play, your style of game, what is an element of your game that you think makes you stand out from the crowd, Isaiah?
I would say my just being able to do, I think my greatest strength is also my greatest weakness at times. I'm able to do a lot of things, and I'm able to be very, very versatile. That was my biggest thing in college, and that, that scouts liked about me is that I'm able to do a lot for teams. So, everybody – in today's game, everybody's got to be able to do everything. So you got to be, you got to be able to shoot, you got to be able to dribble, pass. I feel comfortable and I'm good at all those things. So, and at the next level, I'll be able to show that and guard multiple positions and just show that off.
Take us through the moments where you found out that you were drafted in the NBA. What was the kind of reaction with your family and friends and your teammates? What was that whole 48 hours like, let's say?
It was awesome. That's something that was a day that I've dreamed about my whole life. When it happened, it was actually funny. I told my friends because I saw Zion. Obviously, he went first, and he started crying. And I'm like, man. First of all, he knew he was going number one. He shouldn't even. He should have known. But I was like, man, I'm not gonna cry. I was like, if I start crying. I told my friends, if I start crying, someone's got to slap me. I'll give you permission to slap me because I don't want to cry. But after I heard my name get called, I probably made it about 10 seconds, and then I started crying tears of joy, and hugging my family and my friends, and it was just an awesome night. It was just it was a relief, and it was a dream come true, like I said before. But at the same time, it's something that not too many years ago seemed far away, and the fact that I achieved it, it proves to me that I can do anything I put my mind to.
It's funny you mention that because There's something special with basketball and the NBA and the passion you see with the players. Like Giannis Antetokounmpo winning the MVP, his speech was amazing. You saw it down the road with Kevin Durant with his thanking his mom being the real MVP. Why do you think basketball specifically, Isaiah, whether at the college level or at the NBA level, is so emotional and passionate like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would say, I mean, a lot, because I think it's just people are being truthful. I think in other sports, obviously other sports are different, but like that stuff with KD about his mom, I can relate to that. My mom did a lot for me. When I was growing up, I played for a travel basketball team that, we weren't sponsored by a shoe company. So, I was fundraising, I was writing letters to people asking for money, asking for, and then my mom, she was picking up extra jobs. And so I think that, the sacrifice that people have to go through to get players to where they want to be is huge. There's no way I could have been, I would be here without, a sacrifice that my mom made and my grandma made for me. So at the end of the day, it's a lot of work. It takes a village to get somebody to this level. And so when it finally happens, you can be nothing but appreciative.
Because you definitely see it as well. And you see a lot of NBA players and prospects have gone through a lot of adversity. What advice can you give to up and coming players that want to be in your shoes one day, in terms of kind of facing adversity and challenging obstacles? Is there some stuff that helped you along the way? Because it was, like you said, playing University of Nebraska, you're playing for a team that's not known for basketball, so you gotta have to kind of fight your way to get kind of that recognition, because it's going to be harder for you, right?
Absolutely. For me, it's I kind of always had that tag follow me around. Growing up where I'm from, I'm the first player from my town to even play high major Division I basketball. Yep. First player from my town, obviously, to get selected in the NBA draft. So, I've always had that chip on my shoulder. A small town kid, underdog mentality, and I think something that's helped me get to where I'm at is, I never placed the blame anywhere else. I'm very, forget the word for it, but I when something goes bad, I'm not one to point fingers. I'm thinking, what did I do wrong? What can I do, to fix that for the future? My freshman year at Nebraska, I barely even played, and then I was coming in as a 4-star recruit. Got injured my freshman summer, missed the entire summer. So fall comes, and my teammates, they've been working out for a couple months. They've been lifting, and I'm behind the ball. But I didn't point fingers at my coach for reasons why I'm not playing. I went in and met with him, and he told me, this is what you do good, which wasn't very much my freshman year. But he told me, he's like, when you defend, 70, or I forget the exact number, but he told me 70% of the shots you defend, they miss. So for this team, your role is going to be defense and rebounding. And so I took that role on, and I was happy to be on the court as a freshman. As a sophomore, my role obviously built, and into my junior year, I had a major role for our team. So I think that's also something that I could give the younger guys, is just be a star in your role.
Yep.
The coach is there for a reason. You don't just get, especially at Division I level, you don't just get a Division I coaching job. So if they think that this is best for the team, and it's going to be best for you in the end.
Was it a hard decision to declare for the NBA draft, Isaiah?
Absolutely. It was tough, especially for me, because I wasn't a guy who was a first round lock. Going into the draft, I had to make strides and show teams what I'm capable of. So for me, I love the new rules they have that allows you to sign with the agent, have the agent represent you, and still have your eligibility and option to go back to school. Because if it wasn't for that, I might not even, in the end, it worked out really well for me. But I know there's some guys who went through it and thought they were first round locks, and then end up going back to school. So I love the way that the NCAA did that this year. I still wish, that there was a way that you could go back to school if you don't get drafted, because there's a lot of guys that didn't get drafted. But, I think in time they're going to fix that. But also, as we picked up, my head coach that recruited me, he got fired, and they ended up picking up Fred Hoiberg, which is a great coach, great addition to the program. So that made it a little tougher too, just knowing that, he's had so much experience with basketball, even in the NBA. And so that made it tough. But in the end, it worked out really well for me.
Absolutely. Has it officially sunk in that you will have an opportunity to play with Luka Doncic next year?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's awesome. I think that I landed in a good spot in Dallas. Good young team. I think I can help contribute to wins this season. So learning from guys like Luka, learning from guys like Porzingis, and hopefully Dirk still be around, being able to learn from him. That's one of the major things I'm excited to do.
Mm-hmm. Have you been social media has been buzzing once you got news that you were going to be part of the Dallas Mavericks? Luka Doncic tweeted out to you and everything, and but a lot of people are kind of showing your highlights, comparing you to players. What do you kind of think about all of that noise? Because that's social media. You're not going to be able to block that out ever.
No, you're not gonna be able to. And I mean, the biggest thing that I've been able to do is just turn my notifications off. So a lot of stuff I don't see. And I like to I'm big on Instagram, big on Twitter, so I definitely stay on it. But I don't really get too much into that. It's I know, especially from being from my area. You think that people would be all behind me. The day I got drafted, my friends are telling me this guy's at the restaurant, wherever they were at, they're just talking smack about me, and I'm the first guy to do it out of our town. So, there's always going to be people that hate on you, and you can't let that affect you. I know Fred VanVleet, he's from nearby city. He just won a world championship, and there's guys here still talking crap about him. So, at the end of the day, there's always going to be people hating on you, but you can't let that affect you, and you got to just trust people that you love, and trust that you're working hard every day.
It's an exciting time for basketball and the NBA, and specifically here in Canada, with the Raptors winning and Nick Nurse just becoming the coach of the Canadian national team. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, that's an interesting. That's a great move for Canadian basketball. But before we started, I did tell you that basketball has been very big in Canada many years, and there's a lot of struggling Raptor fans that had to go through some struggling games back in the day, man, and it's finally paid off for them. You know what I mean? But you can feel it though with the combination of the players now that are getting the max deals, the big players, and the upcoming players and the talent. I mean, this NBA draft, the 2019 NBA draft that you were part of, some of those players can come in and be immediate stars next season. It's an exciting time overall.
For sure, yeah, and like you pointed out, basketball's been big in Canada. Basketball, it's behind soccer obviously, but it's becoming the second best or second most popular sport in the world. All you gotta do is look at the NBA awards the other night. A lot of foreign guys winning awards, and I love that. That's huge. So basketball's becoming more and more competitive. It's pretty much eliminated. If you can't shoot in today's game, you're probably not gonna be able to play. So I love the direction basketball's going, and I'm excited to be a part of it at the biggest level.
It's no surprise, and I think it's important to bring it up. So, we've been talking on the show. My viewers are also going to see it now. It's no surprise that, Isaiah, you are a nice guy. The way you're speaking, you're a nice guy. And I think that's something that's not talked about a lot, and that's kind of a misconception of the industry. These big professional athletes, don't have personality, don't come off very nice and joking. They're always serious. How important is it to be this quote-unquote nice guy, Isaiah, the position you're going to be in?
Yeah, it's huge. Like I was talking about, the NBA is so competitive now. That's one of the first things the NBA teams told me when I was meeting with them in workouts and stuff. They said unless you're, a generational talent, like you're, like a LeBron or a Zion or something like that, if you got bad attitude, they're not going to deal with you. There's going to be another guy that they can pull in, and and if he's got a better attitude, it's going to be better to be around all year round. Then they're going to, bring him in instead. The NBA is full of good people. The NBA is full of, guys who you want to work with. Nobody wants to go to work and, we got 82 games and it's going to be a long season and we got a bunch of, a bunch of guys in the locker room you don't want to be around. So that's definitely a huge part of it.
So Summer League right around the corner for you. What could people kind of expect from Isaiah Roby in the Summer League, and how are you going to kind of, introduce yourself to NBA fans in the Summer League? Because we all know that with social media, the Summer League is under the microscope for a couple of weeks, right? People want to see their draft picks on, how they're going to do. It's really good with social media. So what can we expect from Isaiah Roby in Summer League?
Yeah, the summer league. I mean, it's huge. I know my family. I got some family going out there and some friends, and they're looking for tickets, and their first couple of days already sold out. So I'm excited to get out there. For me, my biggest thing for summer leagues, I want to win it. That's my goal that I've set out. I haven't. I go down to Dallas tomorrow. Actually, we start practice, but we're going to summer league to win it, and that's my goal. I think that should be everybody's goal, but that's my main goal. And then also just showing everybody that I belong, continuing to show that. I think I did that at the draft combine. And then, now it's, guys that were sitting out at the combine, there's no more sitting out. Everybody's got to play. So I'm looking forward to going head to head with all the best guys. And I know like guys like Michael Porter Jr. coming back. He didn't get to play last year, so he'll be there. So, I'm looking forward to matchups like that.
Absolutely. Well, Isaiah, thank you so much for coming on Popternative.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's my podcast debut, So.
It's your first pop. Well, there's going to be a lot more to come, man. There's going to be a lot more. But no, seriously, I wish you all the best in Summer League. I wish you all the best in the NBA. Hopefully we can have you on again sometime soon. Where can people follow you on social media? Where can they keep up?
Oh man, I don't know so I got Instagram and I got Twitter. Man, I should know my handles, but I think on Instagram I'm like iRoby245, and on Twitter I'm Roby_Isaiah. So yeah, follow me, give me a shout out, whatever.
Dude, thank you so much, man, and again, all the best.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes, and until next time, this is Isaiah Roby and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.